All right, this is Bob Connors, Chair of the Newbury Municipal Building Committee. I call the March 1st meeting to order. Please permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me. Okay, if you can hear me, please respond in the affirmative. Martha?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Dana?
Yes.
Okay, Jeff Shaw, we know, is on vacation, and Eric hasn't signed in yet. So, good morning. This open meeting of the Newbury Municipal Building Committee is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12, 2020, extended until March 31st, 2023, due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth due to the outbreak of COVID-19. In order to mitigate the transmission of COVID-19, we have been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings, and as such, the governor's order suspends the requirement of open meeting laws to have all meetings in publicly accessible physical location. Further, all members of the public bodies are allowed and encouraged, are encouraged to participate remotely. The order, which you can find posted with the agenda materials for this meeting, allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely so long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. And basically, the second page to that, which basically says that you're all participating remotely and that public comments won't be allowed. All right. I apologize. I'm scrambling here this morning to get going. All right. So first order of business is the February 22nd, 2023 minutes. Why don't we take a look?
Morning, Eric.
Good morning, Eric. You're on mute, Eric, if you're.
Good morning, everybody. Sorry for being late here.
No worries. Eric, so we just did the open meeting preamble and we're reviewing the minutes of the last meeting. And that's all you missed. I know you're disappointed on all that, but you'll have to struggle through it the rest of the day. Okay, any questions, comments, or corrections on the February 22 meeting minutes? All right, hearing none, I'll call a roll call vote. All those in favor, say aye. John Keller.
I think we need
What?
I think we need a motion.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
See, he's on vacation. He's not,
Yeah, you know what?
He's not dancing very good.
I actually just
So moved.
the line at Dunkin' Donuts this morning in Florida was like 30 minutes. I almost missed this meeting.
I
Yeah,
wondered who you were.
yeah. Do we have a motion to accept the February 22 meeting?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right.
A roll call vote. John Keller,
Aye.
Dana Packer,
Yes.
Martha Taylor,
Yes.
and Eric Svan.
Yes.
And Bob Connors votes aye too. All right, man, what a rocky start to this meeting, guys.
Oh, boy.
Um,
Yeah.
So team, we have a joint meeting coming up next Tuesday night with the Select Board, the Planning Board, Capital Planning, and Finance Committee. And it is to provide a status update and a recommendation on the town hall needs that we've been working on over the last probably 8 months. So I prepared a meeting packet for that. I sent that out to you yesterday. That's pretty much it. There's a couple of minor changes I'm going to make, but they're more punctuation or spacing, stuff like that was caught after the fact. But that's pretty much the meeting packet that is before you today for consideration.
By Bob.
Yeah,
I don't
Dana.
know, I don't know if it's important, but that meeting is not on your schedule. In the packet.
What do you mean? The cover sheet says March 7th and everything I think is addressed.
Well, I'm looking at page 16 of this packet. And we've got a 2/27 date, a 3/27, and then, well, and then it goes to line 19 is 3/14.
Oh, you're going on the, yeah, no,
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
it's not in that, on that schedule.
yeah, I'll be honest, it's not a milestone that,
Right, I'm just
So,
pointing that out, you know?
yeah, Dana, to put together an 80-page document in a week has been a lot of work.
He's on
so,
vacation.
Yeah. My fishing rod is waiting for me.
Yeah,
I think the meat and potatoes of it all, team, is pages 4, 5, and 6, which is, let's call it the executive summary. Okay. The rest of it is really a rehash of what we already have. Unfortunately, we're not getting a schematic design estimate before this meeting, but so we'll just go with what we got.
I also noticed that you changed the charge. I think that probably was a good idea.
You know what, the confusion on that, it baffles me, Dana. We had a printed copy of it in the packet. And my opening remarks wasn't a per word quote of the charge. It's basically what our instructions were, and it was quite clear from the get-go we were doing Police Station 2.0 at Town Hall because we had already eliminated previous committees, previous reports, had eliminated any opportunity of salvaging the existing building. I put that in there, but if you go back, it starts in 2012 and it ended in 2018. And I'll be honest, it's pretty small potatoes. When
Oh, no,
not with you, no, but you know what, we're spending hundreds of hours on this stuff, and either people want to take most of it's white noise for me, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep.
and it's so do we have any questions? Is everyone comfortable with the chat, with the executive summary that I've crafted, and are you comfortable putting that forward?
I'm all set with it, Bob. Thank you for making that effort to put it together.
Okay, Eric, do you have any comments? Any suggestions?
You talk about the estimate of probable cost.
That's the best available we have available. We haven't got the new estimate from Bogan.
Right, and I guess that's a talking point, but it's not printed here that an estimate is on its way or due any minute now.
Yeah, no, it is actually.
Yeah, it's noted.
Okay.
Yeah, it's noted actually in the previous under project status, the last sentence. Project architect has ordered an updated project estimate.
Okay, I was reading it backwards, so sorry about that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
good.
it
That's
didn't
all.
match. Okay, Martha,
there it
any
is.
comments
Okay,
for?
good catch.
No, I don't think so. You know, I think the question that keeps coming up is, you know, should the existing building be renovated and added to? And I think you've covered that here.
Yeah, and that's just all the empirical information
Right.
that we've all regurgitated for the last 11 years. And it seemed appropriate to remind people of where we're at on this thing and why. So,
Right. No, I think it's a question that will come up on Tuesday for sure. So I think it's good to have it covered.
okay, Dana, any comments on this?
No,
I mean,
I think you went above and beyond explaining the, you know, the fact that we're gonna build a new building. So I think that's pretty much covered.
yeah, I mean, you know what? For this whole process, it comes down to two things for me, honestly. There's two questions the town residents have to answer. Do they want to own their own town hall or they want to rent their town hall? If the answer to the first question is they want to own, then where should it be and what should it be? And that's what we're covering. So if voters feel they want to continue to rent, you know, that's their prerogative, and I get it. I think our job is, regardless of the outcome of what this may be, or where it may be located, if people have different ideas, we put together the programming needs and the efficiencies that the town needs if they're going to go in this direction. So I thought the most interesting part of doing some research on the old site was that the original Grange Hall was a humongous building,
Mm,
Yes.
yeah,
and the history is spotty on when the Grange burnt down, and there's some gaps in the history of 25 High Road. The building department actually tried to do a record search, and we wound up going back through the archives of the Commonwealth. And the Grange was built in the late 1800s. It burnt down in the early 1900s. And ultimately what you see in 25 High Road is some version of that, but as I recall, there was stuff that was done in 1977. I don't know if that was an addition or not, but
Yeah, I think that was the addition on the side where the
Okay.
town clerk was.
yeah. But I mean, I think in order to utilize the current structure, you gotta elevate it to pick up the square footage. You gotta replace the foundation, and then you're going to elongate it. And I just don't think that's the look we want in our town. And it's not going to save us any money, more important.
no way.
All right, well, team, can someone present a motion that will authorize me to present this report to the joint meeting to be held on March 7th?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, roll call vote. All those in favor, say aye. John Keller,
Aye.
Eric Swan,
Aye.
Martha Taylor,
I,
Dana Packer,
Aye.
and Bob Connors votes aye. All right, is there anyone on the line, Martha, from the public?
no,
Okay. All right, well, team, that's all I get. Why don't we, we had give you an update of I think it was February 14th, Dana, was our meeting, our update to your board.
I don't remember.
Yeah, that was the one where we.
Yes. Well, no, but I'm thinking that was
Danny, you were
Valentine's. Were we there on Valentine's Day? I guess we were.
That's the dedication of, the feedback was, I think most felt that the presentation and the information and the efforts of the committee were greatly appreciated. Dana did an extraordinary job walking through all of the past sites, the rationale why, how they got eliminated. And Dana, you probably, where you're just getting into this whole thing, it's amazing how much previous work and investigation and decisions were made to really get us back to this point.
Yeah.
So at the joint meeting, team, I mean, I can do the opening remarks. Martha, I think when we get into permitting approvals and items like that, that I defer those questions to you.
okay.
And Dana, you're comfortable continuing on with if we
Oh,
get
yeah,
into
I'll just
site-
ad lib. I'll just ad lib like I usually do. I
Yeah.
have a question. Are we gonna have the final cost? We're gonna have the final cost by the 7th, is that correct?
No, we're not. It's
We're
gonna
not.
be, at the last meeting, Jeff Shaw said that it's been ordered, but it's more likely coming in March March 10th to 17th.
Okay,
So that's why I made notation that it was going to be mid-March
Okay.
on that. So we're going to go with what we have. The good thing is, I think, once that comes in, we'll circulate it to everybody, and it's pretty easy to punch in a new number for the warrant or for the ballot.
well, we're not, the good news is, I don't think we're last, because we're still waiting on Triton and the Essex Vets Committee also for the finalized budget. So I think as long as we don't come in last place, I think we'll be looking okay.
And I think we're probably closer to being realistic. I mean, we're not overly inflated, and we're not lowballing it either. And I think we'll be in some range of it. You know, it's funny. I had a conversation with Ralph Castagna from Castagna Construction, and they just came in with a fire station, and it was $740 a foot.
Mm.
And that was 29,000 square feet. That's, you know what it is, Dana? If you're building a 50,000 square foot building, square foot costs work better and actually are more economical on a larger project, because you just get some fixed overhead. You know,
Right.
the cost to mobilize and start a project is, the minimum is the same, whether you're doing 10,000 feet or 50,000 feet, but it gets absorbed over it.
When did Ralph say when is that number? Was it before the beginning of the new year, or was it like within the last month?
You know what? It sounded was very recent. But again, I think too, what did you have any type of abatement of the site or abatement of an existing? So it's hard to take it out of context, but
Yeah,
Fire
site work
station.
drives the number sometimes.
yeah, that was the one comment he made, that the site pricing has just been out of sight.
Right.
So I think one other point to highlight, if you, at our last meeting, the soil report came back, and we're just doing conventional foundation at 25 High Road, and not getting involved in any of the geopier stuff, which that in itself is a savings of a lot of money. So,
Can I ask you a question
yeah, sure, Dana.
about the presentation? On page, on page 25, and Martha probably knows this, it's called the Upper Green Business District. Is that because that's what it's zoned as? Is that the name of the zone, or?
Yes, that is the name of the zoning district there.
Okay, that's what I assumed, because you know, names, and I'm just going to throw an example out there, like Mantis Field, when the names kind of stick, and I'm wondering, I don't know if, I don't know, this, you guys might think this is crazy, but I don't know if we should think of that area where we're going to have, you know, the town hall and the fire station and the police station. Should we actually give that little community a name versus just the zoning district?
I mean, I think once you have the Newbury Historic District, I mean, my reference to it was simply, you know, when you get in back to the initial kind of executive summary, that was almost word for word how they identify the historic district with the, you know, variety of important community structures, blah blah blah. This, but
You know, I like that too. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
but you're saying, I think we should name it the Dana Parker District. How's that,
No.
yeah, you know.
Not exactly what Dana was.
I don't want any
asking,
plaques. I don't. No.
No, we memorialize everything. Poor John, we got this name wrong on the plaque, I think, the last time.
No. And by the way, Eileen was in there and she noticed it was spelled wrong.
Oh,
So
boy.
do we want to go over, the report in any more detail, or are you guys comfortable with that?
I'm good. I've reviewed it a couple times. No,
Yeah, I'm fine with it. But one question, Bob, are you planning to do any kind of PowerPoint, or are you just going to be presenting verbally?
What I'll do is duplicate, we'll get this all bound and tabbed before the
Excellent.
meeting. We're getting 25 copies. And we'll do a slide, we'll do a deck for our IT guy.
Yeah, okay,
what-
yeah, so similar to what
Yeah.
was done for the
Yeah,
select
Matt,
board.
yes,
Okay,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, it's just gonna be a little more informed update. I mean, I thought it was very good, the questions that were posed at the meeting. It actually gave me a chance to kind of clean this up a little bit and focus more on points that, the community should know. How do we get there? In the decision process. So, all right, well, I have nothing else, team. Why don't I go around for final comments? John Keller, any words of wisdom? And will you be available, John? On
I will be. I
Tuesday?
was just going to say, if I can get the connection for that meeting, I'll be on the 7th also.
Okay, well, it's in person.
Oh, it's in person. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
these are all in person.
right, at the library,
Yeah,
At the library. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Eric.
Yes, I'll be-
Eric, this will be you're no stranger to these joint meetings.
Yeah, yes, I will try to make it in person.
Okay, great.
I can tell
Martha.
he can hardly wait.
I was having
Well,
flashbacks there.
I have 2 meetings that night. Hopefully we can work that out with conservation, but
Oh, there's a Concom meeting that night.
yeah, thank God,
Yes.
Mary Rimmer, she's pretty sure she'll be able to open the meeting. But as I said to her, by the time we got set up with this meeting, that even if I had opened the meeting up and then she took it over, that would work too. But so,
Okay.
what we all do in our free time for free. Dana, any other comments, Dana?
No, thank you.
Okay. All right, team. Well, hearing no further comments, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Do we have a second?
Second,
All those in favor, say aye. Roll call vote. Dana, you're the one I'm looking at in my screen, so you're first.
yes.
Martha,
Yes.
okay, Eric
Yes.
and John.
Yes.
Okay. Good night, everyone. Thank you. A good day.
All righty.
Okay.
Good day.
Enjoy your fishing.
Happy
Thanks,
fishing.
Bob. Bob, and you're gonna have to end the meeting for everybody.
Okay.